Tim Korb. I'm the assistant head in computer science. The company that I co-founded with a few other people at Purdue is called Arxan Technologies. It was founded in around 2000. It's in the software security business generally. Specifically, the main flagship product for the company is software that protects other software from being tampered. So it's in the anti-tamper marketplace. And one of our partners has been in the gaming industry, and they're very concerned about people hacking the code to improve their ability to play the game. So that you have these massively online games where people will go in and hack the code, and it'll make them extra strong in the world, and they don't want that. So they come to us to protect that code and help make it so that the people can't as easily change the code and improve their ability. Other things like in the more traditional digital rights management area, like in music or movies, where they want to be able to protect the movies or music from being played on devices that have not been authorized. This was at the bottom of the dot-com bust, so yes, it was hard. There were still people interested. This area was interesting enough that we were able to get interested investors. So it was not a good time to be. In fact, the trip that we made to Connecticut was a month after 9/11. So there was a lot. In fact, we drove. We couldn't even fly. So it was a very downtime in the economy, downtime in people's view of where things were headed. But yes, we were able to get. We kicked around a lot of names early on, and that was a big issue, a lot of discussion. Naming is the hardest problem in computer science. It's the hardest problem in business, I think. Coming up with a name that is not already used by somebody else or copyrighted. And our name has pros and cons. I'll tell you both of them. His suggestion was to choose a geographic place name. So it turns out there's a city in China named Arxan, and just more or less at random, I think he was studying a map one night and said, "Oh, this is an interesting name. It has an X in it, which has a lot of appeal. A lot of business names have X's in them." The downside of that was that a lot of the early work that Arxan did, and a lot of the work that an Arxan spin-off has done, we have a spin-off called Microsemi. A lot of the work that we did was for the military, protecting software in the field. As you probably know, a lot of the military equipment is run by computers. Even the soldiers have computers on them. The tanks and devices all have computers in them. And so the military is interested in protecting that so that software can't be hacked by, if a weapon goes into the wrong hands, it can't be used to aim back at us, kind of thing. So we have software that protects that. But the military, of course, is very interested in security. And when they found out that our company was named after a city in China, and not only that, Hui Chang, who was one of our lead graduate students, was our lead graduate student and a member of the company, they got very concerned. A foreign national working on the software. So we had to, that's in fact one main reason why we split the company into parts, so that the defense part could be populated strictly by U.S. citizens. And in fact, it is no longer called Arxan Technologies. It was bought by Microsemi. That's a decision that I think many faculty make when they're working on a startup, is if the startup gets to the point where it's taking too much of their time, they really have to keep either infusing more technical information in it, or they need to take over on more of a managerial basis because they don't like the way the management is going. And they have to make a decision. Either I'm just going to let it go and live with what happens, or I'm going to leave Purdue and go take over. So I think you see, I don't know if in your case studies you've seen that, but I think you'll see faculty who have left Purdue to start up companies because they really felt like that was where their passion was, and they really wanted to see that. But it would really have required me to leave Purdue, and I didn't really want to leave Purdue. It's the technology that, in my mind, was the most exciting and engaging, the most interesting part of it. It was fun learning about the venture capital side of things. I think I learned a lot there. As I said, it's a complicated business. It's something that if you start a business, you have to watch them closely because they're in it. They have their own self-interest. I mean, it's best when you can align their self-interest with yours, If you don't do that, then their self-interests are going to trump yours, and you're going to be squeezed out even further. So I think that's another important thing to for is you need passion for the product you're developing. It's not enough to say, I'm going to make a lot of money doing this, or I'm going to this. You can't. We've always said you can't be in it for the money. You've got to be in it because the technology, the product, whatever it is you're trying to sell, you're passionate about. You think it's the right thing. It's the most important thing. Not that it's an opportunity to get a lot of money, because you're going to be disappointed in that. I think that's an important lesson that I think was strengthened in me as I went through this whole process, was that you have to keep coming back to what it is about this business you're doing that you think is the right thing for you, for society, for the world, for whatever. It doesn't have to be that grandiose, but somehow that what you're doing is contributing in a way that you feel passionate about and strongly about. And the fact that it's going to make you money is a side product. To find something that you feel passionate about, that you think is a great idea, and to sell it, to build it and sell it. That's the way you can be successful. And if not, try it again. If they're interested in any entrepreneurial interest, this is the time in their life when they can make mistakes. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt them to say, I spent 3 years at Podunk Software, a startup, and it failed. When they go talk to Google or Amazon, they're going to be interested in your failures as well as your successes. And I think that this is the time to do it. So that's what I recommend to people. If they have any entrepreneurial interest at all while you're young, before you have a family and responsibilities, you travel, you take the time to go where you need to go and take part in a project of some kind.